Hello and welcome to episode 141 of the Shire Party Podcast. I'm Liam Salvage, joined by myself. Please give a round of applause for me. It's me being a menace on the soundboard for an hour today. Going over some news, some hot topics that have infuriated me in the news recently. Just me alone at my desk, just thinking silently, I gotta do something about this. This has gone too far. I gotta go to action. I gotta tell tens of people about all my issues with the news. I gotta go down to the local bar and tell someone about my issues with all the government stuff. I gotta go tell someone about what's going on in my life. How do you want to be the guy that goes to a local bar and just complains to young bucks that try to come in there and have a good time? If you're coming to my local bar to get drunk, don't even try. I'm going to be there blabbing your ear off for about an hour and a half, and you won't even be able to order a drink. I know the bartender pretty well, and I'm going to say, hey, don't give this guy anything. He's got to listen to my problems sober. This is what's got to happen today for me. I'm a regular here. He's just here. He's in here, and he's going to leave lickety-split, but I'm going to be here every day at 5 p.m. drinking my sorrows away, getting away from my bitch wife. So if you want me to continue to spend thousands of dollars here a year, you better not serve this 21-year-old guy that just comes in here for a good time, okay? I keep the electricity on in this place because I drink to get away from my bitch wife. There should be a union for alcoholics that go into their local bar. They should get more rights in those places. They're the ones that keep the lights on. It's not these young guys going on dates, having a good time. It's the guys that don't go there for fun. They go there because they need to. If I go into a bar and I need to be there, I should have a few rights. Like, I'm allowed to pick a few fights a month. We're allowed 15-minute smoke breaks inside. It should be union. We need a union to come in there and give these alcoholics a little bit of rights. Speaking of which, Hooters is going bankrupt, and I am none too pleased about that. Hooters, how else are men supposed to figure out if their son is gay if they can't bring him to a Hooters? My son's 12th birthday, him in a Hooters, I see if he looks at some tits. That's how it goes. You go in there on your son's 12th birthday and you say, please start ogling at that nice blonde over there. Please. And then if he likes the blondes, if he's not gay, and you tested this at Hooters, you can then start flirting with the new waitress to see if you can make her your wife so you can dominate your son. You get your 12-year-old son to fall in love with the blonde double D waitress, and then you start hitting on her and make her his stepmom. And that way, let your son know that you're always in charge. He's not going to be going against your rules if you start banging his blonde Hooters girlfriend. That's right, I brought you to Hooters to see if you're straight. Now let's give you a little case of heartbreak. I'm going to take that woman that you got chicken tenders from, and I'm going to start marrying her. I'm going to see how you like that. She might have given you chicken tenders. She's given me her chicken tender. She has a penis. She has a breaded penis that I eat. I don't know why Hooters is really going down. I mean, there's got to be so many lonely 40-year-olds that are going into Hooters still. There's got to be so many divorce rates in America, I think, are around still 50%. And I think 50% of those 50% are going to Hooters to have a good time. You're telling me that 40-year-old divorced men aren't going to Hooters still. How are they being bankrupt? There's so many half-full pockets of these 40-year-old divorced men that should be giving them oodles and oodles of money. To be fair, they're not buying a lot of wings. They're getting one serving of wings and a couple beers, maybe a pitcher. All that money is going to the waitresses. That might be... they need to start taking the tips of Hooters waitresses and just like skimming off the top a little bit if they want to stay in business, because they're getting a lot. Those waitresses are probably getting a lot of money. Hooters isn't seeing any of that. They're honestly, at this point, Hooters waitresses are like contractors. They're like, let me bring my tits in there for a good 5 to 10 years. I'm going to get my money, get $100K a year working at Hooters, and I'm going to split. I have a contract with you guys. They did try to do that thing where they wore basically bikini bottoms instead of their spandex, because they're like, I think we're not getting enough business because there's not enough tit men left in the world. I think we need to do tits and ass. Revolutionary. Just make a strip club, man. A strip club, they're always in business. Hooters is like when you want to be teased even more. It's like a guy, like a Christian man who's divorced is going to go into Hooters and be like, let's see if I can not see any tits, but be enticed by the flirtation. Hooters is not having a good time. I've never eaten there before. I imagine their food is Applebee's. If we got Hooters to be a 3-star Michelin restaurant, do we think they would increase in profits? If you have big-titted blonde women in Hooters serving escargot, are they going to start doing better? I don't know if you want to be hard with your denim jeans on eating escargot, though. Kind of might have the sensation of pussy. Just give the men pussy-related appetizers. You only got escargot. Shit. Is there even any calamari? Kinda. Not breaded calamari, just boiled calamari. What's the caviar? Caviar. I mean, there's eggs in it, but I think the consistency might be a little bit there. Just give the men pussy-related appetizers, and then just like 2 big mounds of mashed potatoes for dinner. Just so they're gonna be fucking 2 mounds of mashed potatoes as if they're boobs. Put a little dollop of butter on the top so they look like nipples. I think we can make this a lot more sexual and increase their profits. I want to be an angel investor in Hooters. I got a lot of good ideas. If they can take $10,000 of my money, I think we can implement them, and it's really going to be no cost. They're going to take my 10 grand. That's purely profits for them. I have ideas they could do right now. No bras at work. Taking away their bras. Wet t-shirt contests if you order a glass of water. If you order water, you're not getting a sip of that. It's going all on that woman. They're going to be drenched inside of a Hooters. All those waitresses just like as if they work at a water park and we got the bucket drenching on them every 5 minutes. Just men in there ordering waters and leaving. They didn't even get an appetizer. Like, I just want water. I'm just going to continue looking at the menu. Lady comes, drenches herself. He's like, actually, I am not very hungry today. I'm going to leave. Make it a place where you can prank these stupid hot women. Just go in there and be like, I think that we need to put a bucket over that door and you need to walk through it. And that's what I want here at Hooters today. I want to see you get drenched in a bucket of water as if you don't realize it coming outside of the kitchen door. You open the kitchen door, drenched, oil, then we feather you. There should be a prankster haven. Just start pranking these big-titted ladies. Yeah, I don't know. I've always wanted to go there after a divorce and just start talking to my stepson or regular son and being like, damn, look at the tits on her. That's a fun bonding experience for a father and son, is going in there and like not sexually assaulting them, but like verbally to each other, being like, damn, wouldn't you like to do something to her while she's walking away and can barely hear you? She knows it's happening, but you're trying to be conspicuous about it. You're just talking to your 12-year-old son being like, damn, wouldn't you like to have her as your stepmom? That's a fun bonding experience that we're going to not have anymore. You can't go to an Applebee's with your son and talk about that waitress. It's not going to be the same. They're not there for that reason. Hooters waitresses are there to bond with your son. Everybody's been asking me, if you were on a deserted island, what TV shows would you watch? You had 3 TV shows on a deserted island. I've been playing a lot of 20 Questions recently, as you can tell. I'm actually a 6th grade boy playing 20 Questions on the recess. The 3 TV shows, obviously I'm going to pick Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland Show. You want something with volume. If you get a box set of Family Guy, American Dad, and the Cleveland Show, you're going to have TV for a couple of months, and then you can just repeat. and you can watch it in order. So, like, season 1 and 2 of Family Guy. Then, they were going to be off the air, so American Dad came in. You watch a couple seasons of that, and you start flip-flopping between Family Guy and American Dad until Cleveland goes off on his own into Virginia. And then you can start watching the Cleveland Show intermittently with Family Guy and American Dad. There's it's a cinematic experience. It's much like Doctor Who. Doctor Who and American Dad multiverse, there's a lot of overlap. There's a lot of time to be invested in following different storylines if you get all 3 of those on a deserted island. Now, you might be thinking, what about the buddy you have on the deserted island? What is he going to say about your 3 choices? I'm going to say he's more of he's not a main character. He's not like a Joe Swanson. He's not a Peter Griffin. He doesn't matter. I get to pick the TV shows. I'm Peter Griffin. He's more of like the chicken, you know what I mean? The guy on the deserted island with me, he's the big chicken, giant chicken. He's got like a few episodes, but I got the mainstay. I get to pick the TV shows. He can pick the movies for all I care. Those are just, hour and a half movies. I get to pick our lived experience while we're on this deserted island. No books. The only books we might have is a coffee table book on artistic illustrations of AI Family Guy members. Peter Griffin in real life AI. That's going to be a coffee table book of art that we keep on the deserted island. It's going to be me and my buddy watching AI, Peter Griffin, Meg, Lois, Quagmire, the guys. Brian. We're going to see AI real life representation of those Family Guy characters. That's what we're going to come back Family Guy heads. That's just going to be us. We're going to come back knowing we're going to be the go-to. You no longer need to Wikipedia Family Guy. You got us, me and my buddy on the deserted island. Yeah, I'm kind of a Family Guy head. Loving the Cleveland Brown Show kind of guy. The TV shows would be the hardest to pick on a desert island. Movies you can do because you're only going to watch them like once a month because you only get a couple. But on a desert island, TV shows are the roughest to pick because you got to be thinking, I need different genres. I need something with volume so I can just don't get bored. So yeah, I guess you got to pick long-running sitcoms and dramas. But that's just going to be like you're going to pick NCIS because it's like at least something different. And there's so many seasons, you're going to have to be on a desert island watching NCI. You're going to have to be watching Gibbs and DiNozzo break another case all day long just because of the sheer number of episodes it has. If you pick Freaks and Geeks, which is a good TV show, but it only has one season, you're going to get bored. You got to pick some NCIS. You got to pick The Simpsons, and you're only going to be watching the first 8 seasons. It's going to be a rough time on the deserted island, but you got to play a numbers game. Back to the news. I'm sorry. I had to go off on my opinions on Family Guy and deserted islands. Deserted island is a hot topic on the recess. Me out there with my fellow 12-year-olds asking each other questions like this. It's a ragtag bunch of 12-year-olds. Half of us have braces. But we get the job done. We go out there and answer life's questions. Trump signed an executive order to get men out of women's sports. I can't wait for a state-appointed pedophile to go into a women's sporting match and just start checking their vaginas. It's going to be a pedophile. He's going to be the biggest pedophile that you have in the area. You're going to be, hey, we need you to go check some pussies. And he's going to be like, okay, this is like a buffet for pedophiles. He's going to get a new plate and go for seconds. This is not a good idea to start checking pussies on girls, because who's going to do that? That's right, the biggest pedophile you know, Herbert the pervert from Family Guy, is going to be checking girls' pussies, and it's not going to be a fun time. Men already have to go through the coughing with the doctor and the cupped balls and all that. Keep the ladies out of this. They got to get a pap smear once a year. Hopefully it's a lady doing it. Don't make some man go in there and be like, hey, drop your drawers. We're going to weigh you in for the wrestling match, but also I need to see if you have a pussy or not. It's going to be a rough time. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, man. They're going to go for orange chicken every time. It's a mainstay. They're going to be like, oh, nice, another 12-year-old. Let me check you to see if you can participate in this sports match. Oh, I'm sorry, you have a penis. You have to go into the back of my van. We have to take you away. No, just go to the back of my van because you have a penis and you're a girl. I need to check you out. We need to go to further inspection. Get to the back of my van. Yes, I work for Amazon during the day, so I need you to get into the back of this Amazon electric van, and I'm going to just check you out real quick. I don't know, someone's arrives to your doorstep with a package. It's a 12-year-old girl. He's dropping her off right at your doorstep. It's not a good time. I don't think we should be checking. I think high school is fine. Let the trans women participate with the women. It doesn't matter. Start doing it after that. Do like college and professional. Check them then. Don't be like, hey, you're 14 years old, show me your pussy. That's wild. Start after the fact. Especially when you're in high school, you know who it is. The teachers can just be like, hey, why don't we join the chess team instead? Because we don't want this local pedophile to be checking your guys' vaginas if you have them. Let's go do some chess. Have you seen the Queen's Gambit? It might be the most feminine thing you can do is play chess in the modern day. Yeah, I just can't wait for a ragtag crew of pedophiles to start taking over the high schools, checking genitalia. It's not a good time. It's gonna be exactly like a Chinese buffet. They're gonna go do the job, and then they're gonna hand them a check and say, "Thank you, come again. Thank you, come again." That's exactly what it's gonna be. He's gonna be hooked on the MSG, which is finding penises on young women. That's what the MSG is. He's addicted to it. He can't get satiated. He feels like he's full when he leaves, but 15 minutes later, he's hungry for another penised woman in high school. It's not a fun time. Don't do it to high school. Start in college. Executive orders are just like a stepdad grounding you, because you know they're not going to take, like in 4 years, just the next week, your dad's going to be like, no, you're not grounded anymore. You can have your phone back. I have a date tonight, and I have custody of you for this weekend, so I have to go on the date. You have to order pizza somehow. So yeah, you get your phone back. The stepdad can't make the rules when you're at my house. It's just the next president is the dad going on a date being like, no, dude, just do some shit. Just order the pizza on your own. I have to go do something. As soon as the other next guy takes off, as all those executive orders are like, no, you're grounded? No, we didn't ever said that. Now you're ungrounded. You're good. You said sorry. That's exactly what it is. How else are you going to order yourself a nice Pizza Hut pizza with your daddy's money if you don't have a phone on you? There's no more landline. You have to have your cell phone. Stepdad can't make the rules in my dad's one-bedroom apartment on the bad side of town. If you're going to be at dad's apartment, you're going to need that phone. It's on the other side of the train tracks, and there's a lot of singles in his area. He needs to go out on dates. Your mother wasn't giving it to him, and he needs to go find someone. Hooters could come back if they just made it like a date night establishment. If they started getting some, stuffed pants males, just some tube-topped males with stuffed pants and big-titted ladies, and they have to come to your table as a couple, you get the girls... Actually, this is a better idea. Get the Hooters waitresses. They're still there. Invite their drug dealer boyfriends to also be at the table with them, and it's going to be a good date night experience, because if you hit on the Hooters waitress, your wife is going to be like, whoa, but also the drug dealing boyfriend's going to be like, hey, I'm going to kill you out back, and he's going to pull his gun out and just like flash it at you. He's not actually going to use it, but he is going to flash it at you and try to sell you weed afterward. That's all you need. Just invite the boyfriends in. They'll keep everybody in line and make it a family establishment while also looking at tits. Through shirts, obviously. If you just get a bunch of white dudes with Chrysler 300s parked in the back, having fun with their girlfriends right before the shift, the girlfriends are obviously going to come in a few minutes late because the boyfriend's like, nah, stay here in my Chrysler 300 with this pound of weed in the back seat. I want you to stay here. And then they're going to come in late. They're going to serve some wings. The men are going to start talking. And then the boyfriend's going to come in being like, whoa, what'd you say to my girlfriend? Do you want to buy some cocaine from me? You have to buy cocaine because you looked at my girlfriend's tits. It's how the world goes round. Just Hooters girlfriends and drug dealer boyfriends. That's what you need. The local economy's in shambles when these Hooters go out of business. How else are these cocaine dealing boyfriends going to be able to steal from their girlfriends when they're not dealing enough? When they start using their own supply, how are they going to... They have to steal from the pockets of their Hooters girlfriends. Otherwise, things aren't going to go too well for the local economy. I don't even know where the local Hooters is around here. I'm in California. I don't even know where the one was in Ohio. I'm assuming near Cleveland. But then you got strip clubs. So Pope Francis is in critical condition and has kidney problems. The fun thing about being Pope is that if you step down, you're like, what do I have to live for? I never was able to marry and have kids. I can't come out as gay now because I told him I wasn't for 50 years. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do to retire? I have to die in this position because there's no fun to be had. I'm always going to be known as the guy that was the Pope. I can't have sex with men or women. Young boys, that's been out of the question for a few years now. What am I going to do? Just enjoy the Vatican? Am I just going to bathe in some holy water all day? Maybe there's a steam room and sauna on site. What are they going to do? You have to die in the position of Pope. Because it's not like you can quit and become CEO of a company. You don't have the leadership experience required to run a business. You just know how to run a church. It's a little bit different. I don't know. You have to die in that position. There's only like two positions you have to die in, and I feel like that's small town sheriff and pope, and also like coal miner. You have to have a heart attack in the sheriff and the coal mining position, and then in the pope, you just have to like just die eventually from cum retention. The rough part about being pope is all of your linens are white, and not one of them are allowed to get stiff. You can't come on any of the fresh linens you have around you, but they're all asking for it. All those white, soft satin linens are asking for me to come on it, but I can't because I'm the Pope. I'm holy. All these doilies around the Vatican, my cool little hat, I can't come in it. That's got to be a fun first day. It's like being a theater kid when you're the Pope. The first day, you're like, how am I going to do all these costume changes? The stagehands are going to help me? Damn, I got to change in front of a guy who's going to put like a rip-away suit on. Being the Pope's kind of like working at like Saturday Night Live. You got to do a bunch of costume changes. You got to come out there. It's all timely. It's a fun time. I'm very sniffly today. I got a cold. I wake up in the morning and I blow my nose and it's like slugs are coming out of my nose. It's kind of nasty. Oh, I got to go on a flight to Chicago tomorrow. I'm going to Chicago for fun times. The Windy City, the land of deep dish pizza. That's where I'm going to be. And I am hoping and praying that a fucking flight lands upside down safely. Nothing more than I want to be on a roller coaster for the last 5 minutes of my flight to Chicago and get millions of dollars from American Airlines. I just want that thing to topple over a little bit. Everyone's safe. I just want to be upside down like I'm stuck at the top of the corkscrew at Cedar Point. Just held there, just so I can get a couple $1 million and some hot, hunky firefighter has to come unbuckle me while the blood is all in my head. My penis is the smallest it could ever be because all the blood's in my head. That's what they never tell you about roller coasters. When you get stuck upside down for about an hour, your penis is shriveled. It's a raisin because there's no blood there. It's all in your brain. That's when you should really start thinking about life's biggest issues. You got no blood in your penis, it's all in your brain. You should be like a genius if you're hung upside down. That's why vampires are pretty smart, and that's why they live forever. They're upside down in their cave at night, just thinking. They can't sleep, obviously. They're just in like a stasis. They go upside down in their little back saver, the thing that stretches your back. That's the modern day vampire, just a 40-year-old man going into one of those inversion tables. He's just upside down thinking about his bitch wife and what he should do to get the more than half in the divorce, because he's the one that earned all the money. He's just a modern-day vampire just biding his time, waiting waiting for his next victim of a wife. The inversion table vampire. Next to his treadmill he's never used. The one that holds his towel that's strictly for coming. When he goes down there and he tells his wife, I'm going to go work out for a little bit. But then he just turns on the treadmill and comes into his sweat drag. That is the modern day vampire. We don't have Vlad the Impaler. We have Brad, the bad husband. That's the life we live in nowadays. Yeah, I just want to be in one of those. The one thing that would piss me off is if my flight crashed and I didn't get a fucking Diet Coke and a nice Biscoff cookie. That's the one thing. If I'm in a red eye overnight back home and I am asleep during the cookie time, I want the flight attendant to vigorously wake me up. She should be like blowing in my face, giving me wet willies to try to get my ass up to get that Biscoff cookie and a Diet Coke. I don't care if the Diet Coke's going to make me awake for another hour, because the little caffeine that's in it, I want the full strength Diet Coke, not the non-caffeinated one, and I want to have a good time with my cookie. I don't care if I'm the tiredest I've ever been, you better wake me up and give me that Biscoff. And if you have the fucking fruit gel things, the little strips of fruit leather, if you have those, don't even bother. Don't even bother asking me which one I would prefer. You know I want the Biscoff cookie. The only thing that could compare to the Biscoff cookie, if you don't have them, is the little granola things. The little granola bars. That's all I want. Either my Biscoff cookie, and second place, the granola bar thing. You better give me my sweet treat and Diet Coke if I'm on that fucking flight. And if my plane crashes without my sweet treat, if you say, hey, if the pilot comes on and says, hello, we have information. This flight will be, we're going to hit some turbulence, and it's only about an hour and a half, so the in-flight service will be discontinued for this flight. Please keep your seatbelt seated. We'll be landing in Orlando here in about an hour. Do not tell me that. Give me my Diet Coke. If you can't give us in-flight service, hand us a Diet Coke before we take off. That's all I want. And because it's diet, the one good thing that came around from the pandemic is they no longer pour it into the cup for you and then keep the rest of it for the next guy. They used to pour the Diet Coke into the glass, the plastic glass, and then keep the rest of the Diet Coke for the next guy that asks for a Diet Coke. Now they just hand you the whole cup and the can. That's good. You guys made a good move there. Now just give it to me at the beginning. That's all I want. That's all I ask. Don't even give me the ice. Just hand me the goddamn can, because I can't get through my own can through TSA, and I'm not spending $10 for a Diet Coke at fucking Wetzel's Pretzels. Just give it to me now. I don't care about the sanitary cloth that you give me to wipe down the seat. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to say, oh, thank you. I'm a health-conscious man. I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it in the little paper holder in front of me in the seat, and I'm never going to use that cloth. One thing that I thought, I went and gave blood. I had blood drawn, and I also had to pee in the cup for a urine sample. They gave me a little cloth to wipe the tip of my penis. I never had that before. I felt like I was at a fancy restaurant when they give you a warm towelette, or just pulling down my pants and wiping my penis before I pee. That was nice. They should start doing that at every restroom. I think it was a nice little, lemon-scented warm towel on the tip of my penis. Now it's time to pee. I'm ready. That's a fun time. I enjoy that. No more small Asian ladies on flights. I can't handle it anymore. They have too much room. There should be a separate section in the airplanes for small Asian ladies that are very flexible to go, because I'm in there spilling over the sides of the seat. My knees are plummeted into the guy in front of me, and there's just a small Asian lady next to me just doing crisscross applesauce in a fucking American Airlines seat. Give her less room. Give me the space that she's not using. There should be separate. You can put them in the front of the plane. I don't give a shit. Just give the small Asian flexible ladies in the front. They can get on first. Who gives a shit? Give me their space. They're not using it. They're contortionists. We got fucking Shen Wen up there doing splits and stuff in their seat. I just need an extra 2 inches. Give me 2 inches. Get the small Asian lady section of the plane up front. They can have first class. I don't give a shit. Give them champagne every time. We're segregating based on my needs, but they can still have a good time. They can have a better time than us. Give us big guys a little bit of space. Get those small Asian ladies up. Give them pampered. Just give them less leg room. Give them the warm towels. Give them the champagne. Give them a meal, even if it's a 30-minute flight. Get me in there in the back, just with 3 inches. 3 inches of extra space. Asian ladies under the height of 5'3" go in the front. Less leg room, comfier chairs. That's all I ask. Segregate based on needs. And my needs are not to be reminded that I'm unflexible, I can't touch my toes, and I'm too fat to be in a regular airplane seat. I'm not paying for first class. Give them the first class. This has been episode 141 of the Shower Party. This is a small one. This is one for when you're stuck in rush hour traffic and you need some man to rant about Hooters for about 20 minutes. That's when you put this on. So if you have a friend that loves Hooters, say, hey, this guy Liam Salvage, he's got some information for you. Send him the link to the episode 141 of the Shower Party podcast and be like, listen, bro, you need to listen to this in rush hour traffic. You're going to have to turn your speakers down a few times when he starts talking about the pedophiles in the high schools. You'll have to turn it down so that the surrounding cars don't hear you and you don't get embarrassed. But other than that, you're going to have a good time listening to Liam talk about Hooters. Give him that information, and I will see you next week on the Shower Party podcast. Please tell a friend how much fun this was. Please.